Hey there, everybody. New studio, new intro. I'm just here to remind you guys before you listen to today's episode, make sure you follow the show and subscribe wherever you listen. If you watch the show on YouTube, make sure you subscribe there, you comment, you like, and you share. Also, follow my social media, all of it, both Instagrams, my Twitter, follow it all. Your life is to be consumed by my life. Tell everybody that you know about me. Start conversations with the fact that the Smoking Simian is your favorite podcast. Bombard everyone that you know and love with the Smoking Simian. Send them links day in and day out of my show, of the episodes, of my posts. Get thrown out of your house because the only thing that you care about is the Smoking Simian. Do it. Enjoy today's episode. Bye-bye. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning in on the last day of June 30th already. Holy motherfucking shit, man. More than halfway through the year of 2022. A year that I'm finding a lot of people around me has been a big change for people. A lot of my friends are going through big change as well as I am. But who gives a fuck about any of that? I want to apologize not ahead of time. What would it be? After the fact. How about that? I want to apologize after the fact for Monday's episode. I didn't even bother to make an Instagram clip of it. That was probably a day, if there was ever a day where I could skip this shit, it was probably that one. Like I said, I went out to New York on a whim on Friday, and I didn't come back till Sunday in the afternoon, and I was like, fuck, I need to get this podcast out. I'm exhausted. I had a banger of a weekend. I need to get some sleep, but I need to get this podcast out. So I wanted to just get it out of the way. I really phoned it in, guys, on that last episode. 209 will not be remembered as a good one. I did put a clip out on YouTube, but whatever. It's done. It's over with. We're here today, a few days before the 4th of July. Very fun holiday. Very nice. I'm going to have to put something good together for you guys for the 4th of July, now that it's on a Monday this year. That is a holiday I've always liked. Always liked it. You pack your car with as much shit as you can. You pack it up with whatever car you have. And when I was a kid, we didn't have, my dad had a truck, but that's not a lot of space inside. And then my grandmother, anytime we would go anywhere, we would use the little Mercury Mystique. So we'd pack that as much as we could on the 4th of July when we'd go to my cousin's house or whatever. Or if I did something with friends, they'd pack their monstrous cars full of shit, toys, and, food, of course. You got to have a lot of food. 4th of July arguably has the best food out of all the holidays, right? People think Thanksgiving and Christmas, you sit down and eat all that shit. That stuff's good too. But the 4th of July, their food is great. That's the one holiday I give in to the 4th of July. I do. I come on here, I talk shit about all the holidays because most of them are stupid. And mind you, I just want to clear this up, guys. I don't like the 4th of July because it's American, Independence Day or whatever the fuck it symbolizes. I don't care about what it symbolizes. It's the celebration, right? Because there's some holidays people care about what it symbolizes. People care about Thanksgiving. They don't want it to be Thanksgiving. It shouldn't be celebrated. Christmas, it's about the birth of Christ. And New Year's, it's about the new year. And some people, 4th of July, it's about America. And for me, it's not. I don't care about that. But I do care about the festivities. I love the festivities. It's the best time of year, right? Hot July. A lot of the time on the 4th of July, you end up somewhere where there's water. So you can run around. You can jump in the water. After you've been running around, you eat, you come out, you drink, you go back in the water, you drown, you die, you ruin the 4th of July. Everyone goes home sad and upset and remembers that day forever. 4th of July, it's great. And then there's fireworks on when everyone's driving home miserable because little Johnny shouldn't be drinking. Little Johnny, who's grown into a gambling addict, an alcoholic, just an addict all around, addictive personality. Johnny, who was once little Johnny, who was a very fun kid. He's grown up. He showed up with his girlfriend who, had a heroin needle hanging out of her arm when they first pulled up. And he had to tell her, put that shit away. And, little Johnny, he died in the water and passed all his debts on to his children and his drug addict girlfriend as well. That's what the 4th of July is. That's good, and I like that. I like that a lot. Blowing your fingers off with fireworks, I mean, what better way to end a night or to end a fun day? That's the other thing. 4th of July is the whole day, right? And it's fun the whole time. Christmas, when you're a kid, it's fun when you're unwrapping the presents, but you don't want to wear the fancy clothes. There's parts of it that's annoying. The food's good, and it changes as you get older, right? When you get older, you don't care about gifts as much, unless you're a lady. But as a man, men don't, as we get older, we don't want gifts. We'll take it as an insult. You got me a fucking gift. I don't need nothing from you. What, you like me? You love me? Get away. Don't give me no gift. And the bigger it is, the more mad we get. I told you, not this fucking year. But the 4th of July is fun all day. It's fun all day. And it starts... You can start as early as you want, but it really starts at, in the afternoon, right? Afternoon, you all meet up at the lake house or at the beach or, somebody's backyard. Hopefully they got a pool. Pool's always nice on the 4th of July. It's always hot. And you start and you just eat and you drink and you eat and you drink and you play games. You play yard games. Then at the end of the night, you have a fire. You have s'mores. Someone starts grilling again. It's nighttime. And then now it's time for fireworks. And hopefully... Your crazy, your crazy cousin Kyle comes down from New Hampshire where he's been living, and he comes down and he brings a whole bunch of illegal fireworks, and you can blast those off. It's great, the whole fucking day, the whole day, very fun time. What we do here in Rhode Island, for those of you that aren't familiar, there's the 4th of July. Everybody goes to Block Island. Now, Block Island is an island, small little island off the coast of Rhode Island, and it's a part of Rhode Island. And most of the year, right, I'd say 85% of the year, Block Island is fucking a useless place to go to. Useless, right? But the 15%, I'd probably say... 12 and a half of that 12 and a half of that non-uselessness, the usefulness, how about that, of Block Island, is the 4th of July. The other is just other, right? The rest of it is other. The 3.5% or whatever I said is other, we'll say. Other reasons, events, the beach houses. But the 4th of July is the main reason that Block Island hasn't been turned into, I don't know, a fucking wasteland, I guess. They must get so much money on Block Island on the 4th of July because that is it shows how sad Rhode Island is, because Rhode Island is the smallest state in the Union and everybody knows each other. It can take you an hour and a half to drive the entire state. It's super small, and everybody on the 4th of July gets on a boat and goes to a little tiny island just south of here and sees all the people they went to high school with and grew up with in the same fucking place, getting drunk and doing the same bullshit. It's like a reunion. That's what people do. And I mean, I'm going to be doing that this 4th of July. I haven't done it in a while. It is usually a fun time. You go to Ballard's Beach, you get hammered. Don't bring your kids. Definitely don't bring your kids. People smoking weed, people drinking. And I mean, now weed's legal in Rhode Island, so it's not a problem. But before, when it wasn't, I mean, I remember the first time I went, I was in awe. People just freely smoking. We used to do that on the beach too, but people would be like, what the fuck, what are you doing? But then you look around and it's all kids, it's all people. There's no way they're going to control it. So, 4th of July, very fun, very good. That'll be coming soon. Other news, our good friend Ghislane, our friend whom I like to talk about on here every once in a while. Love the Epsteins, very good people. They did a lot for the business world and the political world as well. I mean, they were able to keep world leaders at ease by a steady flow of child chotch, if you will. And now, if we're being honest, now that Ghislane is behind bars for 20 years, which is a pretty light sentence, right? If we're being honest, it's a pretty light sentence. She could probably end up doing, I mean, who knows, less than half, right? She's got money. She's got connections. She might pull that shit down to fucking 5 years. 5 years house arrest. That's what it'll be. Ghislane Maxwell, count it up, guys. In a few months, before the year is out, before 2020 is out, 2020, before 2022 is done, Ghislane Maxwell will have connived her way into a 5-year house arrest, something like that. She's going to get off easier than this, guys, because this is easy. For the shit that they were doing, the dirty shit, they probably looked all of it over, and they were like, we got to give her something. Right? We got to give her something, and this stuff is too high level. We don't want to get in trouble, and 20 years sounds official. We don't want to dive too deep in this. Too many people might get hurt. So let's just slap 20 on there. 20's good, and then whatever happens after that, it'll go to the other courts, and whatever else, the appellate, all that shit. It'll be nice, and everyone lives to steal another day. Everyone lives to corrupt another day. But with all this going on, guys, Epstein is dead, right? Epstein is dead. That other associate that I spoke about on here, somebody that, I jumbled the story then, and I'm not going to try again now. But he was suicided as well, shot in the stomach, or shot with a shotgun and hung, and it was called a suicide? What is that? So he was an associate. And then now Ghislane's behind bars. How are the elites going to fuck kids now? Right? Think about it. Every year you go on vacation with your family, right? Or every couple years, right? Or they try to make something happen. And maybe you guys find a place that you really like. Over the years, you've been doing it your whole life. You're 25. You've been doing it ever since you were a baby because you got older siblings or whatever, and it's just a family tradition. And you've gone to all different places, but there's one place in particular that you guys really enjoy, and you've gone there more than all the other places, and you've really, really enjoyed it. And you just have a great time. You know all the fun spots. You know what to do. You even tell other people who are visiting, hey, listen, this is our 8th time here. You've got to try they're Australian now. But you know what I'm saying. You love the place. You guys look forward to it. Sometimes you suggest it. No, we went there last year. Come on, let's go somewhere else. We went there the past 3 years in a row. Come on. Somewhere else. You're looking forward to it. What are the high-level guys going to do now? What are the Clintons going to do now? Hillary's going to run? That's what I heard. There's rumors of it, right? Hillary could run. Maybe she'll start her own as a president. That would be interesting. It'd be the first president, right? To start their own pedophile island. But where are they all going to go? That was their place. That was the place. Maybe it's a place where, all your friends, after high school, everybody kind of split up, but you stayed in touch. Right? Everyone moved to different places, about 80 of you, right? Maybe even more. I'm thinking there's going to be a lot more. Right? A lot more on this island than 8. But, there's a bunch of you. You guys all connect. You all stay in touch. And you plan a big trip together. Let's all go to Miami. We'll all meet up in Miami and have a good time for a week. Right? They were probably all calling each other up. This CEO, that oil tycoon. All these guys. They're probably saying, hey, this is the hottest spot in the ocean, baby. They probably had, group chats themselves, man. Hey, saving up to go to Little St. James. Now, relatively soon after, Ghislane was sentenced to 20 years. Again, I would argue a grossly light sentence, knowing that she's going to get out. She's going to get out, guys. She's going to get out. And while she's in, oh my God, she's going to be living like the Goodfellas. She's going to be drinking wine. She's going to be throwing ass on prisoners, or security, or, prison guards. She's a pretty lady. Ghislane's hot. She could use that to her advantage. Prison, hey, she's going to be doing A-okay. She's going to be fine, guys. She's going to be calling guys in, guys from the outside world, using them and abusing them, fucking them. That's what she's going to be doing. You know? She might even provide the warden with some child pussy, because she would know better than anybody how to work that angle. You know what I'm saying? She would know, like, if you ever go to a place and you want to get sold, you know, you don't really know what you're looking for. You're going to get a car. You know you want it to have good gas mileage, but you're not anything in particular, right? You want to get sold. And you hope that the best salesman is the one that's coming up to you. They're going to sell you on it. And at the end you go, wow, that was, you sold me. That's what I would think Ghislane is probably the best at leveraging child pussy. You know? Like, she could probably convince the warden, who's, it could be a very vehemently, a very vehement, law-abiding man. This is the law of the land. I'm here, like the badass motherfucker in Shawshank Redemption, who ends up blowing his head off, and was, very, very Catholic. So he probably would have fucked the kids anyway. But he, just like a really hardened warden. He's been there, done that. He's been the warden for 20 years. He's 65. He could have retired 5 years ago, but he fucking loves it. He loves putting people in cages and doing that shit. A guy that would never, ever, ever break. But Ghislane would walk in there, swinging her keys, right? Swinging her keys to her cages that she's got. And just would silver tongue this guy to fucking children, and bargaining on her end, being able to do whatever the fuck she wants while she's in there. I would think she'd be the best at that. But again, to digress, I'm sorry, I don't digress. My initial thing that I was going to say was that shortly after Ghislane was given her 20-year prison recommendation, our good buddy R. Kelly, who we haven't heard much about in a while, we knew that he was in the courts. We knew that problems were happening. He is going to jail for 30 years. 30 years on I would think, a similar, oh my God, the word's on the tip of the charge. Because R. Kelly, let me find the article. At least I just read the headline. That's all you need, right? R. Kelly sentenced to 30 years in prison for sex trafficking case. R. Kelly is sentenced to 30 years for scheme to lure children into sex. The New York Times. R. Kelly said it's all trying to get children to fuck. And selling them and buying them, sex trafficking. And then I saw the one with the children. I know the girls were underage. It's very similar, but Ghislane was doing it on a maximum level. This is the thing. R. Kelly, yes, very famous, a lot more in the public eye, right? A lot more in the public eye, so they got to make an example out of him, right? People know Ghislane, but they didn't know her before, right? People didn't know her before all this shit happened. She's very protected. I guess her family was, I forgot what exactly it was. There's some shady shit with her family. Intelligence, that's what it was. I'm pretty sure they had an intelligence background. Her dad was something, and I don't know the whole story, but they're protected people, right? They don't want to be in the public eye. They shouldn't have gotten caught, is the thing. That's how protected they are, Epstein and Ghislane. There shouldn't have been anything. But R. Kelly, he's, everybody knows him. He was a huge star, and he was, controversial. He's evaded the law for a while, supposedly, because he was doing this for years, underage kids. I mean, he was pissing on girls ages ago, right? And people looked right past that. They said, fuck it. Let him sing. He dances well. He makes hits. Remix to Ignition. Come on. Doesn't get much better than that. So, fuck it. We'll tolerate it. But now, they dropped the hammer on his ass. And he's a public figure. So now it's like, okay, this guy's got to, we got to make a point. We got to make a point here. And it just goes to show, again, even when it comes to sex trafficking criminals, there is still systematic racism at play. You guys are blind if you don't see it. I mean, geez. A black man is going to jail for 10 years longer than a white woman. Huh. What are the... What for disproportionate levels? Well, then again, I don't know, because if he was doing it for as long as they're saying he was doing it and hiding it pretty well, there could be a chance his operation wasn't as big, but there was definitely a decent amount of volume. If we're talking economics here, if we're talking about sex traffic economics, which is what I'm sure is spoken about in that business, right? I mean, because it is a business. It's a whole thing. So, and I know he wasn't in the business. Maybe he was. I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess trafficking is selling them, right? I don't know. It's fucked up. But it's again, it is, Ghislane knew too many people. You know, she was too high level. So I don't think R. Kelly will serve the 30, right? Maybe he'll get out earlier, but not as early as Ghislane. Ghislane is going to get a fucking slap on the wrist. Just wait. You guys are going to see it. I'm calling it. Make a bet. There's that site. I don't know what it's called, but you can like put a wager on there. That's a good one. Will Ghislane get out of... get a reduced sentence, something real easy. You know, something easy within the year. Or before, how about that? Before the end of the year. Put that to the fucking bank, baby. But that's fun, right? Now, here's some other fun stuff. There's a group of scientists right now that are developing something called the species stock market. And now this is an attempt by these scientists to raise awareness about the environment, raise awareness about what we're doing to animals, and the way that they're modeling it is over a stock market. It's going to show the value of an animal dropping based on if something bad was done to their environment, right? So, for example, the fucking Amazon python, right? And where most of them live is in this concentrated area and some other areas around the world, but mostly here. And that part just got absolutely burnt down. Their value is going to drop. And their idea, the scientists' idea, is that this will raise environmental investment awareness, and this will, help them gain some traction in saving some of these species. And this is interesting because scientists are literally doing everything now. They're doing everything to tell us that we're fucking things up, which is fine, right? I mean, it's fine that they're doing that, and it's also fine that we're fucking things up because that's what the fuck it is. That's what we do. That's what we do as humans. We fuck shit up, and species come and go. They all come and go. There's been, there's some animals that have stood the test of time, right? These tortoises that are ancient. There's some animals that they have monumental lifespans and they've been around for a very long time. Or they have prehistoric ancestors, like a fucking alligator. You know what I'm saying? Those fucking things. Some animals, some species, they're able to stay for a long time. But on a large scale, species, they come and they go every day. All different types of organisms. They're gone all the time. So it's a tough ask, a very tough ask to get us all on the same page with stopping these things from happening because we have very little control over it. And the fact that we're trying to control it's a little strange. But we can control our influence. I can see that point. We can control our influence on the whole thing because, yes, there is some of it that is out of our control, but there is some that I guess there could be. But good luck. And this is a good idea. This is a good idea because they know that if you can somehow model something to money, or if you can give it a value, people will pay attention. Somehow, people will pay attention if you give it a value. Think about it, right? How many people do you know that watch the news are intent about the news? I'm sorry, not the news, the weather. people who watch the weather and they're super like, there are some people out there, they get, certain apps and they want to know the weather. Maybe they spend a lot of time outside and they want to know what's coming and what's happening, and that's good. But for the most part, people watch the news and it doesn't matter. But when COVID happened and there were no sports to bet on, you best believe, when there were no sports to bet on, and there were there were apps that were allowing you to bet on the weather, you best believe people were paying attention. People were paying attention because there was a value, there was something to watch, right? It was something to watch, and of course something to gamble on. Way to make money, very good. Now, the thing about this species stock market, or the SSM, very clever, there is obviously no money in this. Money in terms of investing, right? It's not like you can invest in shares of, white leopards, as cool as that would be. There is no money, but it is a different way, and it's giving a model for people to manipulate, essentially, right? Even though there's no money to be made in the investment here, there's no investment. This is just showing values. Look at the values. You guys are killing motherfuckers. You guys are killing these animals over here because of this shit that you're doing. Look at the value that we're losing on these guys. The value, it's the big number. The big word here, the value. And, but the thing is this will get manipulated by, at very least, trolls. Right? Anytime there's a system, there's motherfuckers that are going to find cracks in it. All the time. All the time. Even if there's nothing to gain. Even if there's very little to gain, people will look at a system and try to manipulate it. Try to get their outcome. Try to get an outcome that they see possible. We do it all the time at our jobs. Right? We try to, get the best possible schedule, the best pay. It's a system that we can use some of the things that we've done, our credentials, to itch our way in to get a little bit more, to get a little bit more benefit here. Let me get this. Hey, I bring this to the table. Let me get that. Right? That's a form of manipulation. And there might be people out there that might be offshore betting with this, right? There might be some black market betting. And there might be some poachers who get involved. And they're like, hey, you guys get us some of that black market bread, and we can wipe out some elephants. Yeah. We can recruit some guys, wipe out some elephants, Burn, we'll start, what is it, the black vulture? Oh, okay, we'll just start burning them. We'll shoot them in the wings and burn them. We'll burn the trees down so they have nowhere to live. That'll be good. And then they can start eating each other, the ones that live, right? Because they're scavengers. They just eat dead shit. Yeah. It'll be good. And we'll get the skins. We'll be able to, not if we light the birds on fire, but if we're killing elephants or the white rhino or whatever the fuck. There'll definitely be some offshore betting. There's a value there now, guys. There is something to say, hey, the odds of this, we can skew the odds of that, right? Come on, we can skew the odds. What's a couple polar bears in that region over there? Come on. Who gives a fuck? Who cares about Komodo dragons? Kill them, turn them into shoes. We'll all make money. There'll be a way to do it, guys. And I feel like the scientists, they're doing it with good intentions, right? They want to go out there, and they do. They want to help these species. But when there's something to be speculated on and manipulated, you can count us in. Oh, yeah. Very, very good. Now, on that same token of manipulating environments and destroying the planet and all that stuff, very cool, very, very cool, something that the country of Finland is doing. Now, Finland, I've always heard, is a very, very nice place to go, very nice place to live. The people are very happy. If I remember correctly, they have free health care. They have some of the best schooling in the world. It's very different than other countries, as far as I know. They are some of the nicest people. They live very well. But they have an idea. They have an idea that maybe could fuck all that up. But maybe not. Maybe they see the writing on the wall. And let me explain. There's been a couple different countries, U.S. one of them, tried this. Excuse me. U.S. was a country that tried this. Right now, Finland is preparing to have a facility where they bury their nuclear waste. They're going to try to bury their nuclear waste because there's nowhere else to put it. There's nowhere else to put this shit. Now, here's the thing, guys. Nuclear waste takes 100,000 years to be gone, right? Let me make sure I got that number right. 100,000 years it takes for nuclear waste to be gone. Look at this. Nuclear waste takes 100,000 years to become safe. A leading, I don't know what that says, international, it's an abbreviation, nuclear agency predicts that approximately 260,000 tons of nuclear waste is currently in storage. So that's in the world, or is that at this facility? International. Yeah. So it's Finland's new Onkalo waste facility. It has 31 miles of tunnels, 1,300 feet below ground at peak capacity. It can hold 6,500 tons of nuclear waste for 100 plus years at a total cost of $3.9 billion. So it'll be able to hold it for 100 years. So it's like a time bomb, right? It's basically a time bomb. It's going to cost $4 billion, which isn't that much, if we're being honest, to hold 6,500 tons of waste, of nuclear waste. But only for 100 plus years? It said it takes 100,000 years to be safe, right? Who's going to be able to be in the area? Now, the reason the other countries didn't do it is because it was too close to humans, the proximity. They didn't want fucked up things happening like Chernobyl and whatever else. And that's understandable, right? But, I mean, I guess Finland was like, maybe the president just started taking acid, right? Or the prime minister just started taking acid. Isn't she like, isn't the Finnish prime minister like a hot-ass lady? Finnish prime minister. I'm pretty sure it's like Sanna Marin since 2019. Yeah, she's hot. But she probably was like, let's stop with all this nice shit. All right? We're not going to change the nice shit. But let's start, she was kind of like punk rock, right? She's kicking down the door. She ate some mushrooms, she took some acid, and she said, you know what? Let's start fucking shit up here. Let's start fucking around. Come on, let's build a whole system where we can get rid of all this waste. We'll just put it underground. I'm sure it'll do nothing. I'm sure it'll be fine. And the workers will love it, right? Underground, 1,300 feet underground, just hanging out. That's got to be awesome. That's a good job. That's a good job. You work in a radioactive nuclear waste facility underground like a mole. That's got to be good. That's going to be a lot of jobs coming from that. A lot of jobs in that area. But the reason why I think they're going to have, writing on the wall here, why they see the writing on the wall here is because Russia has already decided or threatened to nuke them. They threatened, they have already I've spoken about it on here before. They, or maybe I didn't speak about it. I think I tweeted something about it. A country like Finland, who had Sweden as well, because they were threatening to join NATO, and they. I was saying something about how there were two countries where they have shit figured out. The people can live. They have health care. School is good. Yada yada yada. All this stuff. And why would they get bombed? Why reserve the most powerful weapons for them? Because they want to join some other group? I mean, I get it, right? Putin's a savage motherfucker. He wants everybody on his boat, and he doesn't want other people fucking around, especially not those Nordic countries like them. They are a big ally to the Russians, I would think, right? In that Eastern Bloc area. So They probably see that, hey, shit could escalate. Why not have this underground bomb for ourselves so we can fuck shit up too? They're going to bomb us. This is going to be a nuclear wasteland, right? They're going to fuck us up here in Finland. You're not going to be able to walk anywhere. Everything's going to be buzzing. It's just going to be bad. Why not add to it? Let's have a facility. Or how about this? How about this? She might be in on this SSM species stock market deal. She might be putting in a little investment. There might be an animal in the area whose species were already endangered, and they're like, let's fuck up the ground they walk on. How about that? Maybe it'll get into the water they drink. Let's see. Let's play around. Could be a nice tourist spot, though. You know? They could do tours of the Unlaka or the Unkala. What do they call it? Tours of the radioactive Unkalo. Tours of the Unkalo, first of its kind nuclear waste facility. Please take this 30-minute elevator to the very bottom floor, which is the only place that we can walk, but we can also watch the river of radioactive waste flow. This is the main attraction here. This is what everyone wants to watch. We're on the other side of 8 inches of plexiglass. It's not bad. We're good. We're going to be fine. You shouldn't have cancer when you leave. Now make sure you stop by the gift shop to get your very own buzzing bottle of radioactive waste that you can take home and show your friends. It's safe. Trust me. You can touch it on the outside. It's cancer-free. It's okay. It could bring people in. It could be tourism. Who knows, guys? Maybe it's just the desire to be on the cutting edge of something. This could be, if it goes well, other countries could be looking at it. Hey, we have a lot of nuclear waste as well. Let's burrow that shit under the ground. Let's do it. You know, and then some other countries would be like, holy fuck, why do you guys have so much nuclear waste? What is going on? I don't know. I mean, the rise, I would think there's going to soon be a shift when it comes to our energy sources. And nuclear energy could be one. Right? I mean, supposedly it's a good thing. I don't know enough about it. But supposedly it's good, it's sustainable. It's got a negative connotation because it's nuclear. I mean, I don't know. I don't understand what it is. Are you going to have a nuclear fucking thing in your house that's heating your house or having your lights on and shit? And if, you know, your dad goes downstairs to smoke a cigarette out by the back door and he ashes and the whole fucking neighborhood goes up, would that happen? I don't know. Probably not. I mean, I would think that they would figure it out before it becomes something commercial like that. But there's going to be a lot of trial and error. And we aren't going to, we're not going to concede to using solar energy or any of that shit, right? I know that's expensive, too. That's expensive. I don't know how expensive nuclear energy is, but I would think that there's going to be a bigger push to mass-produce nuclear energy and make it cheaper and more accessible for people than maybe the sun. I'm not sure why. That's just kind of an on-the-spot take. I think it's rooted in the desire to create shit as humans instead of using the shit that we already have. But, I mean, if you're working on solar energy, you're creating shit there. You know, better priced solar panels and better materials and all this shit. I don't know. Who knows, guys? Who knows? Anyway, another fun thing that's going on in Russia. We were talking about Russia as well. Russia has defaulted on their loans. First time since 1918. Hey, so it's happened before. America, it's never happened. Say what you want, but we got the bread, baby. No. The only reason it hasn't happened here is because we changed the rules. We changed the rules on the spot. We put it off. We turned the AC up. We know there's a whole bunch of, again, system, big system. Lots of little tiny crevices to weave your way through, guys. That's what we do. That's what we're built on. It's just all a revolution of shit. It is. It's all like made up stuff. It's wild, right? It's all like a system that's made. And that's the reason why we haven't defaulted on our own loans, because we made the system. This is our way of doing so. The U.S., we're not going to default on our own loans. Come on. We're going to figure it out. And by loans, I mean bonds, right? Plus, people are buying American bonds. I don't know who's buying Russian bonds. I don't know who's been buying Russian bonds. I don't even know where Russian bond money would be going to. I mean, I could throw a few guesses out, but I'm sure it wouldn't be going to infrastructure, because all that shit there, all the architecture's been there for, hundreds of years, and there's no reason to build anything else, because people in Russia, they don't care about anything. They just, they want the cold, and they're, they don't care necessarily for new age aesthetics. Let's just say that, if I had to guess. So I don't think it's going to infrastructure, which is typically where bonds can go. It's just funding. It's funding for the government. So I would think maybe, killing off Putin's enemies, right? Nuclear arsenal, money going to that, money going to military opera, money going to strong arming other countries into doing things. I would think some stuff like that would be going on with the bonds. But, who's really investing in Russian bonds, right? I'm sure there's a way to get in there and figure it out. But, and who's trying to cash them in right now at a time like this? I mean, good luck. There's no money coming in and out of Russia. Nobody is getting any money over there, right? They're just taking a beating, and the leaders obviously don't give a fuck. They don't care. They want to make their point. They want to make this happen. And the people are obviously suffering. There's no money in and out. So they're probably like, well, I had these bonds for 20 years, and we could get good money for this. We could use and buy bear to keep us away from nuclear reaction. And it didn't work. They probably went and said, hey, give me ruble. And it didn't happen. It did not happen because there's no money. They defaulted. Imagine that, living in a country and they're defaulting on their shit. I mean, it happens. Happens all the time. It's just like species dying off, like I was saying before. That's why it's so similar. It's so similar. Countries, they go bankrupt just like companies go bankrupt. Happens all the time, except countries don't go away, right? Companies, they can go bankrupt and they're gone forever and ever and ever. But it's, it's just funny that that's part of the news, right? It's, and it's important, right? It's important to know that there's no money going into Russia. And it's important to know that we made it out on the other end. Because you guys may remember, so many episodes ago, who knows when the fuck I was even talking about it. I was talking about how the U.S. almost defaulted on their loans. They were almost there. And it would have been the first time in history. First time in history, right? 1776 to now, we have never defaulted on our loans, and we almost did it. We almost did it, guys. But we connived, we figured it out, and we turned the AC up. We turned the AC up, and here's the thing. In Russia, no ACs. They don't understand the concept. It's always cold. Always, they could turn the heat up. I guess that works too. But there's something about the AC, right? There's something about turning the AC on, especially when it was hot. It's been hot all day. You're like, turn that motherfucking AC on. There's something about it. The heat's good too. But, to just turn the AC up. And that's what we did. And that's why we didn't default on our loans. We're just savvier. We know our system better. We know how to connive our system. And we're a lot less tolerant to hard times, if we're being honest. The Russians, they're ready to, they are always in tough times, right? They're always just fucking in the cold, wartime, hardened people,
Whole deal. You don't need me to say that. You guys know what I'm talking about. They do crazy shit in Russia, as far as we know, right? As far as that's what we see. So they're a little more used to having hard times. There's pictures or videos. I remember watching World War II in color while I was on mushrooms, and there's video of people, children, going to school with their grandmother, walking to them, and just walking through blown apart buildings, just absolutely destroyed landscapes, and nobody gives a fuck, just walking. Stalin saying, "Stay, motherfuckers, stay. We're gonna work this out. Stay." And people just getting murdered by the fucking thousands every day. The fucking architecture getting destroyed. Who cares? Everything's getting ruined. And then, don't fuck with the Russians. They won. They figured it out. Don't fight us in the fucking cold. You guys did everything. You killed all of us. Well, a lot of us. But too bad, motherfucker. We got out on the other end. So the Russians are they're used to the hard times. If there's no heat, they'll be fine. We're us over here. We want the heat. We want the AC. We need it when it comes. So for us to have the luxury to turn up the AC is just shown how good we've done. How good we've done for ourselves, and it's great. Speaking of the United States and I guess money and investments, there's this project that's going on by an inventor from Yemen. Would that be a Yemeni inventor? What's his name? I wrote it down. It's Hasha Al-Ghali, we'll say. And he's working on this idea. It's going to be, it's called the Sky Cruise. Now look at this, guys. Look at this, and you'll see why I'm saying that this is a great business investment for America. Cruise already is the perfect word. Sky, another great word. People love traveling and flying over here. They love it. So Sky and Cruise, just wait, guys. This is going to be a monstrous, a massive flying cruise ship, essentially. A massive airplane, but it's going to have all the things that you would have on a cruise. Hotels, theater, a pool, right? Look at this. I wrote it down. I was at work today, right? And I was like, I need to have a fucking good podcast today. I got to have some good shit. And I wrote something down. I wrote this down. So it's going to be basically, I'm sorry. I can't read my handwriting. I'm looking at it. I'm like, this is terrible. Because I wrote it all fucked up and just stream of consciousness. But it can be flying, it could be up in the air for years, right? So you can live on it for years. It can hold about 5,000 people. It's got 20 engines. It's going to have a mall, a gym, a pool, a theater. It's a flying cruise, guys. This is going to be cutting edge on travel. If this comes to fruition, it's going to be cutting edge. It can be in the sky for years. You can go on a sky cruise for years, just flying around on a big, monstrous 5,000 people. How big is that aircraft going to be, guys? That is going to be a fucking blimp. The blimp, a size of a blimp, will be like where all this shit is happening, right? And then it'll be a blimp with wings. A blimp with an inside that you can walk on and dance and drink and swim and do all this shit. And it'll have wings and a cockpit and a fucking tail fin. It is going to, if this thing happens, dude, it is going to be massive. And America is going to eat that shit up. Oh my God, think about it. Think about the depraved people who, especially when it becomes commercial, in so many years when it becomes commercial, it is going to be an absolute beast. People aren't going to go on regular cruises. Regular cruises will be obsolete. First, this will be for high end, maybe luxury, maybe, right? It seems big. 5,000 people. You don't need to charge that much. It's going to be expensive, but you don't need to charge that much. But here's the thing, right? It's going to be nuclear powered. Nuclear powered. A big, monstrous, nuclear powered aircraft flying around the sky for years at a time with thousands of people on it, docking at places, landing, picking up passengers, letting passengers off, probably needing specialized landing areas to do this, right? You can't just land a big monstrous thing like that in a fucking airport. It's going to be bigger than a jumbo jet. It's going to be bigger than that. It's going to need its own spot. They're going to need their own places, right? It's going to be nuclear powered, and it's going to be self-driving. It's going to be self-fucking propelled. No one's going to be driving the fucking thing. There's going to be no captain, no pilot, no none of that shit. Self-driving like a Tesla. Imagine that, guys. That is insane. There'll be nobody, there'll be no specialized training for that job, right? There'll be people probably there to watch the meters and look around, but it's going to operate just like a cruise line, if I had to imagine, right? It's got all the same attractions, probably have clubs and restaurants and the whole thing, hotel rooms, 5,000 people, guys. That's a cruise. That's a cruise. And in the sky, people are going to eat that up. Don't be surprised if this guy, Hasha Al-Gahani, or Al-Gahili, sorry, brother, I know you're listening, but if this guy gets some traction on this, believe the investors are going to be Americans. Believe Expedia, all these, Carnival, get ready because, it's nuts. It's nuts. A big, monstrous, nuclear-powered thing with no captain. I mean, terrorists are going to really going to be able to hijack something crazy now. Imagine them hijack. There's no captain. They just walk through, knock, knock, hello, I'm taking this, beep, boop, boop. But maybe because it's self-driving, you can't hijack it. Maybe. Or if you don't give a fuck as a terrorist, you're just doing it as a statement anyway. You just shut the machine or you unplug it. Bow. And then it's just a big, infinite ton machine hurtling to Earth with thousands of people in it, with nukes, a monstrous nuke, essentially. Terrorists will now have access to technology that they never would have had otherwise. They can go ahead and hijack a big flying nuke and get, oh my God, way more casualties than they ever could have imagined. Way more casualties than flying one of those fucking gas-powered planes. Planes with propellers, with engines that are run with gas and fuel and that type of thing. You're going to crash that into a building? Okay, I can crash this thing into the ocean. I can crash this thing into a mountain where there's no life at all. There's never been life. I can crash it into that and get way more kills on any given day. On any given day. Because there's people who live on cruises. There's people who live on those cruises. There's probably thousands of people at a time that live on some of those big monstrous cruises. So on a bad day, on the off season, you could hijack a cruise in Alaska in, February. And if you could crash that and it had a nuke attached to it, you'd kill a couple thousand people. Still way more than 9/11. Still way more. Plus the fallout, you'll fuck shit up, man. You'll fuck shit up. God forbid you land that thing in a city. You could wipe out a city. You could wipe out a city, guys. But if it gets figured out and nuclear power becomes the way we do things, then, fuck. You're not going to stop something like that. That is a beast of an idea. At least I think it is. I think we'll be talking about it. I don't think it's going to happen overnight. That is a crazy endeavor. I can't get over it. I read it and I was like, 5,000 people flying around on a big nuke with nobody manning the ship. Nobody flying the ship. It'll be doing it itself. People will be manning it. Again, I'm sure there'll be a staff. I'm sure there will be a staff that has some kind of specialized training to know when something goes wrong and they can figure something out. But if that doesn't happen and that crashes, pretty good. Pretty good. And again, I'm sure terrorists are licking their chops. They haven't gotten to crash anything into anything in a while. They haven't gotten to do shit. If they got a hold of one of those, Jesus, watch out. Watch out. One of those things in the wrong hand. That's a nuke. That's a big flying nuke, as far as we know. But, hey, so many years down the road, if we accept nuclear power, maybe they find a way to contain it. Maybe they find a way that even if it crashes, even if it crashed at the hardest it could possibly crash, maybe nothing happens. Maybe it's fine. Other than, of course, the massive destruction of all the people on the flight or on the thing. Aside from that, I'm talking about solely the nuke part of it, the nuclear reactor. Maybe they find a way to encase it. They find a way to make sure that it doesn't wipe out the whole area. Just the immediate area where that infinite metric ton machine would land with all the people inside. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be. I do think it'll be something. I think it'll be something, and don't be surprised if it's on Shark Tank soon. Now, again, guys, I appreciate y'all listening. Things are going to be changing, hopefully, with the podcast. Not time, not subject matter, none of that stuff. But I'm having a new vision for the show in terms of setting it up, in terms of what we want to do. I am pretty much shying away from guests. I think I've said this before, but I'm more or less shying away from guests unless we can do it in person. If we can do it in person, hey, I'm all for it. I don't want to do the Zoom. I don't. I want the show to be fun. I want it to, it's a comedy show for a fucking reason. And I love having interesting people. Don't get me wrong. I'll never turn down a conversation with an interesting person, and I'll never turn down the opportunity to have one on here. And again, someday we could go back to the guest model because I did enjoy that as well. But as it stands, the show has gone through kind of a transition period, and it's become a one-man show. And my setup is going to have to change soon. So I have a vision for it. It's going to have to change. And as far as things go about me leaving here, Connecticut, which I feel like I've spoken about on here already, knowing that I'm, broken up from Caroline. I mean, the next move is to go to New York. That's what's going to happen. I'm not staying here in Connecticut. This place is a dump. I got to get rid of a lot of this stuff, though. But I'll be able to translate the setup that I want to employ here. I want to be able to do it there. So we're going to see. We're going to see if we can make it happen. I have too much shit in here right now. The main thing I got to get rid of is this fucking couch. The couch has got to go. And, I'm going to start investing a little more change into this. A little more moolah. I have all this money. It's backup money. I'm using it wisely, but I feel like I should invest in this. That's what I did with all this stuff. I put money toward it. So I'm making less now, but it's important. I want to grow this fucking thing, and I feel like the appearance of it matters. I want to add some new elements to it. I want to be able to show you guys stuff on the TV because it is only me right now. It's only me. I'd love to take on a co-host, but I feel like that's hard to find when I'm not making money. A collaborator would be cool, but it is what it is, guys. We got to keep evolving. We got to keep moving. We're at the end of the month. We're at the end of the month, and I don't plan on doing the preachy goal shit again like I've been doing all this time. I don't plan on doing that. But I do pay attention to the months. I do pay attention to how much time I have left in a year to get things done. So I feel like I've gotten things done in that time period. I don't want to look back and say, wow, that year I didn't do a whole bunch. I didn't do much. So I do pay attention to that, and I will reference it from time to time on here. So too fucking bad if you don't like it, cocksucker. But listen, guys, I'm going to wrap this motherfucker up. Happy June. Happy, end of the month. We're going into July. We're going to have a lot of fun on the 4th. I'll have something for you guys, of course, like I do if it wasn't fucking 4th of July. But I'm just thinking, who knows? Maybe we'll do a little something on here. Probably not, but fuck it. I got a new date. July 15th. Stand Up New York. One of my favorite fucking places. The only club that'll have me on a regular basis right now. And that'll change when I go back, when I move to New York and it all happens. I got 10 months to figure that out, guys, and I'm holding myself to it. I won't fuck this up this time. But, yeah, July 15th, if you're in the area. I know you won't be. But, yeah, doing a set there, Stand Up New York, and, of course, Portland, Maine Comedy Festival, end of August, the 25th, or the 24th to the 28th, I think, or the 25th to the 29th, something like that. Mark Norman is headlining on Sunday. He's closing out the show. He's got 2 shows. So if not to see me, go out there and see that motherfucker. It should be a good time. I plan on documenting the whole thing, and we're going to have a whole lot of content for you, as long as it all plays out. Don't want to count my chickens before it hatches, which is some shit that I do all the time. I'm doing it right now, telling you about all my plans and fucking shit up. But anyway, guys, thanks for listening. I'll talk to y'all on the 4th. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your week. Peace.
I'm back to reiterate all the stuff that I said at the top of the show. Follow and subscribe. Bye-bye.